भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। We'll read the Dhyana Shloka, Pratasmarami. Repeat after me. Pratasmarami hriti samspuratatmatattvam Satchitsukam paramahamsagatim turiyam Yat swapnajagara sushuptamavaiti nityam Tad brahma nishkalamaham na cha bhuta sangaha. First verse. Tapo bhikshina papanam shantanam vitaraginam mumukshunam apekshyoyam Atma Bodho vidiyate Bodhonya sadhanebhyo hi Sakshan mokshaika sadhanam Pakasya vaknivajnanam Vina moksho na siddhyati. So yesterday we saw that essentially we are not having the knowledge of our own being, and that is the main reason for all miseries. How it is uncomfortable for us to live with a person who does not know us. And when we live with a person who does not know us, we constantly misunderstand. And this misunderstanding creates a lot of conflicts and a lot of tragedies and agitations, anger. Even in a group of people working together, if they do not know each other, what do you mean by not knowing each other? Not knowing their plus and minus, what one is capable of and what one is not capable of. So accordingly we should share the responsibilities. In the same way, if I am unaware of myself, there is a constant enemy that is within me. That is my own ignorance. So therefore, Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, to be free, to be happy in this world, you should have Atma Jnanam. That is Atma Bodha, the knowledge about oneself. And for that, one cannot go anywhere else to remove the ignorance. One should go to knowledge. Indirectly, what we see is, do not ignore the ignorance. Do not ignore the ignorance. As I said, if somebody is your life partner, let's say, you cannot ignore that person because it is your better half, right? So, you cannot ignore, you have to live with that person. If it is somebody else, you can shut the door and walk away. But if it is your own part of you, then what can you do? So, do not ignore this ignorance. So, one has to find a solution for this. Therefore, he said, Bodha anya sadhanebhyo hi. Knowledge, in comparison with all other pursuits of your life, sakshat moksha eka sadhanam. This is the only straight way to overcome this problem. Like what? Pakasya vahnivat. Just like for cooking you need fire. Jnanam vina moksha na siddhyati. Without knowledge, liberation is not possible. Now, if I do not know a language, how do I come to overcome that? By knowing that language. Let us say you are going to another country where they do not speak English at all, or some parts of India, rural India, where the local language alone is spoken. Everything is written in local language only. Nobody speaks in any other language. Then what will you do? You must have a guide. So for each one of them, you must have, every word. One Tamilian went to Gujarat, Hindi belt, MP or UP somewhere. So he does not know how to speak, but he doesn't have any knowledge of Hindi. So he went to one person and said, Tamil terima. So that fellow looked at him. Tamil terima, meaning, do you know Tamil? So he got very angry. Hindi tera paap, he said. Tamil terima. Terima means your mother. So he got very upset. He said, Hindi tera paap. So when you do not know a particular language, you have to, suffer that. But when you start learning, you start discovering something new. The language is the means to culture, literature, lifestyle, and communication. So suddenly you start discovering new set of things, new people you come to talk to, and new way of looking at things. Just like a child who goes to a school, starts learning language, etc., start discovering something which he does not know. You taking a particular professional course and discovering a new way of looking at things. In the same way, here, once you start knowing your own self, you start discovering yourself. Something which is hidden in you, something which is unknown to you, you start becoming aware of this. So therefore, just like fire is so essential for the process of cooking, in the same way, knowledge integrates. Like a person who puts the vegetable, spice, salt, oil, water, they do not mix with each other. They stand independently. But when you start cooking, when you put the fire, what happens is each one of them losing their individuality, becoming one with each other. And then only you finally get the cooked food, where you cannot separate them out. In the same way, we have different personalities, physical, psychological, emotional, intellectual, spiritual personalities in us. They are all now independently staying. And on the other hand, otherwise also, you are a husband or a wife, you are a parent, you are an officer in our company, you are a citizen in this country, you are a participant in the society, you are a community member, you are a brother, you are a friend, you are whatever it is. So various roles that I have to play, apparently there is a constant conflict between these roles. Many people ask me, what is my priority, Swamiji, to be a husband or to be a son? My parents are back in India and I'm here and I have to take care of my family, and at the same time I have to be taking care of them also. So what should I do? So there are different personalities coming to clash in you also. This also to be integrated. Jnanam, therefore, the intention of knowledge is to integrate. That is why I often tell, in our universities, they are supposed to teach that which is bringing unity in diversity. That is called university. Unity in diversity. If instead of bringing unity, they only diversify everything, divide everything, you become one who is torn between, here and there, and that is exactly happened in the case of Arjuna also. He does not know what to do. Should I be a cousin brother of all these people or to be a king, a warrior? Torn between two or more roles, you cannot take decisions. So Jnanam helps you to integrate, to bring all of them together. So just like a fire makes the various ingredients to cook becoming together, in the same way, knowledge is that which integrates the personality. A person who is thus integrated is referred in Sanskrit as Yuktaha. Bhagavan Krishna uses that word very often. Krishna karma krit. Sa yuktaha Krishna karma krit. He is an integrated person who is capable of doing any action in this world. So therefore, this nature of knowledge one should understand, and any other thing one does cannot solve this problem. Having said this, one may say, Swamiji, I am not a man of thinking. I am a man of action. I engage in action, and that is what has given me success throughout my life. And I do not see why action cannot solve this problem. So here Bhagavan Krishna Shankaracharya says, verse number 3. Aviroditaya karma na vidyam vinivartayet vidya vidyam nihantyeva tejastimira sanghavat. In Vedanta, there is a saying that avidya, kama and karma, this is called anartha parampara. You know the Guru parampara? This is anartha parampara, bringing you calamities. Source is avidya, ignorance. The expression of ignorance is kama, desire. And the expression of desire is karma. Avidya, kama, karma. That is why when you ask somebody, why you didn't come for the evening class? Bahut kaam hai. That's what we mean. Bahut kaam hai. Too much of desire, therefore I cannot come. I have to work. Kama leading to karma. So avidya, ignorance, is leading to kama. How does it work? See, avidya means, as I said, ignorance. What ignorance about what? Ignorance about oneself. I do not know who I am. Therefore, I consider myself to be somebody. I consider myself to be son of someone, daughter of someone, brother of someone, all those things. All right. Once you have that, you have an innate natural unhappiness about yourself. As I said earlier, if you do not know someone, you presume him to be somebody else. It often happens to us. So one person said, Swamiji, recently some neighbor moved into my locality, my house, next to my house. So I asked him, do you know him? I don't know him, but I think he's a crook. How did you come to know? No, his face is like that. His face is exactly like my brother-in-law. So I must be a crook. So you do not know something, you come to presume something else. You assume something else. When human intelligence is that which does not say I don't know. I don't know, but that the but is the big problem there. But I think he's a crook. So Gurudev calls it as unapprehension leading to misapprehension. Not knowing leading to wrong conclusions. This is a very important topic in Vedanta. It's called adhyas. That is, not knowing what is lying there, you come to conclude that to be a snake, isn't it? You might have heard this. Rope I don't know, then I hope you better keep quiet. No, it's a snake. So you come to conclude it as something else. In the same way, not knowing who I am, I conclude myself to be son, daughter, or brother, this and that. In all these relationships, you are trying to find happiness. Why? Because my conclusion is, I am born unhappy. Unless I get what I want, I possess what I want, I am unhappy. Basic conclusion is, unless I achieve this, accomplish this, possess this, own this, experience that, I will be unhappy. And adding to this, the world also adds more fuel to the fire. It will say, watch, Titan watch. So you think that by taking the Titan watch, you will be happy. And you also buy the watch, nothing happens to you. You are unhappy. No, in the advertisement, they showed that when I wear this watch, I will be happy. Pizza. Taj. Eating and drinking tea. So all this advertisement makes you feel that if you get this or if you do this, you will be happy. But you do this, you are still unhappy. Just like in a marriage. Asked the Daddy said, white means happiness. Oh, okay. Then why do men wear black? He didn't say anything. So another boy asked, not Swamiji, Daddy, how much it costs to get married? So the father said, to tell you the truth, I'm still paying. So one may conclude that if I get or if I own this person, if I relate with this person, I will be happy. See, it is said that only 2 times a man will open the door of the when the car is new. Number 2, when the wife is new. So, in all these occasions, that's why when a person is getting married, the people around him, relatives, knowing very well what kind of tragedy he will go through, they will not allow him to think. They make so much of noise. Everybody is laughing. He will not know where he is getting into. So, it is said that Swami Ramdas, when he was about to get married, I do not know, this is a story. The Purohit usually they say, Savdhan. You know, Savdhan in Maharashtra or something. He got up and ran away. He suddenly realized that be careful. That's what it means, Savdhan. And he ran away from that place. So we think that relating with someone or by associating with something, we are happy. So avidya creates kama. You understand that? That's why in ladder of all also it's very clearly. Jayato vishayan pumsah sangasteshu upajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodho vijayate krodat bhavati sammoha sammohat smriti brahma smriti brahmat buddhinasha buddhinasha pranashyati. Right? So from the association of thoughts is created the desire. So why do I associate with things? Because I am basically unhappy. By associating myself with something, I will be happy. This is what is called desire. Sankalpat prabhavati kama. Prabhavati. Sankalpat, by thinking in a thought association, is born desire. If one is happy with oneself, there is no need for one to go out to seek something. But when I am unhappy, I am looking for things to relate with. And seeking such an association, leading to thinking that that will give me happiness, is the one which creates desire, kama. Once kama has come, then next one is what? I have to do something about it. Desire doesn't keep quiet. If you look at the word desire, in jumble that word will become reside. It resides in you. Just like dormitory, that word, if you jumble it will become dirty room. If you jumble the word mother-in-law, you know what it comes to? Women Hitler. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't want to go into those things. So this desire is the one which reside in us. So once it become our resident, it has become a local resident, then it will not keep quiet. Go, do it, do it. So kama leading to karma. That is why Bhagavan Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Nahi kastit kshanamapi jadutishtatya karma krit. Karyatehi avashak karma sarva prakriti jai gunaihi. Not a single moment a person can keep quiet. Nahi kastit kshanamapi jadutishtatya akarma krit. Doing nothing, a person cannot keep quiet. Karyatehi avashak karma. He has to do. Why? Sarva prakriti jai gunaihi. Because his prakriti will push him to do that. So karma, therefore, is next expression of avidya. So this is called anartha parampara. Avidya, basic ignorance, leading to kama, desire. Desire leading to karma, action. Avidya, kama, karma. These are the three steps. And therefore, it's a beautiful analysis by Shankaracharya. Avirodhitaya karma na avidyam vinivartayet. An effect of a thing cannot go against the cause. This is a basic logic. An effect of a thing cannot go against the cause. Because you might have seen the logic of spirituality's video, our Gurudev. What does he say? Every effect has a cause, first law. The cause is nothing but effect, the effect is nothing but cause in a different form. From the effect, when the cause is removed, nothing remains. Just like a gold chain, the cause of a gold chain is gold. The chain of gold is nothing but gold in a different form. From the chain, gold is removed. I'll tell you, I'll take the gold, you keep the chain. That is not possible because without the gold, there is no chain. So if that is so, karma, avidya, kama and karma, these kama and karma are two expressions of avidya. Just like the gold itself expresses as, it's in the form of a liquid, what you call, some liquid form, and then further it is modified into a chain. From that chain, if you remove the gold, what will remain? Chain cannot remain. So, can the chain ever go against the gold? Cannot, because without gold it cannot. It cannot go against itself. So, karma being expression of avidya, ignorance, how can karma be opposed to ignorance? Cannot be. However much you do action, it cannot remove ignorance, because it is basically from ignorance it is stemming forth. Aviroditaya, virodha means opposition. Aviroditaya, being not opposed to karma, karma being not opposed to avidya, ignorance, na avidyam vinivartayet, it cannot remove ignorance. Action cannot destroy ignorance. Why? Because action is expression of ignorance. Therefore, what is that which can remove ignorance? Vidya avidyam nihanti. Only knowledge can destroy ignorance. Because knowledge is opposed to ignorance. That is, and karma is not. So, any amount of action you do, it will not remove ignorance. That is the reason why, even in Bhagavad Gita, in spite of Vedavyasa being the very author or the compiler of all the Vedas, which talk about rituals, karmas, he, without any, without any kind of hesitation, he said very clearly that all rituals that you do, any action that you do, it will be still in the plane of ignorance. Even when you conduct rituals and go to the heavens, you are still in the plane of ignorance. And therefore he says, Yamivam pushpidam vacham prabantina pandita. Those who think that there is a heaven, that there is the higher pleasure, greater joy and all these things, still they are in the plane of ignorance only. Vedavadarata partaha nanyadastiti vadina. They think Vedavadarata means those who are talking high about Vedas, na anyadastiti vadina. There is nothing else, that's what they say. They are still in the plane of ignorance only. So Bhagavan Krishna also supports that point and says that, in his story also, if you see Bhagavan Krishna's Leela, when all of them have decided to, as a regular yearly annual festival of worshipping Indra for rains, I am telling you, Bhagavan Krishna is pro-environmental pollution. Not pro-environmental, non-pollution, not pollution. So they were all ready to worship Indra, everybody was getting ready, and then Krishna asked, why are you people so busy nowadays? We are going to worship Indra who gives rain. Is it foolishness? Indra doesn't give rain. If you protect your nature, the nature gives rain. If you worship this mountain, Govardhan, worship the cows, worship the trees, because these trees and other things that are there, if you can protect them, they will give rain. Not Indra. Who is he? So they suddenly realize this is true. If only we worship what gives us prosperity, our plants, our animals, and the nature. So they decided not to worship Indra. And Indra got so angry and upset. This is because these Devatas survive only when people worship. Just like our ministers. if you don't vote for them, they cannot be in their position. So what they do, they keep constantly giving you some kind of a thing or the other so that you vote to them. In the same way, Devatas cannot serve otherwise. So then, suddenly the people stopped worshipping him and his position was in danger. He got so angry. He told Varuna, go and pour in such a way, tsunami effect, go. So the downpour was so hard, and Bhagavan Krishna understood this is work of Indra. Immediately he took the Govardhana, as you know the story, and then he protected all of them. Indra realized that it is a Bhagavan who is sitting there and I cannot go against him. The point is that the rituals that we perform are to please the gods and to bribe them, and they in turn give it to us. But in the same way, if one thinks that by supporting karma I can overcome happiness, you are doing the wrong thing. Rituals do not give you enlightenment. Rituals give you another plane of experience. Just like one who is working in India and he has come here to work. So your Indian problems are solved, American problems have begun. You cannot avoid this. So every profession, every place, every experience has got some plus and minus. So he says, aviroditaya karma na avidyam vinivartayet. Knowledge, action being unopposed to ignorance, it cannot remove ignorance at all. Vidya avidyam nihanti eva. Knowledge destroys ignorance for sure. Like what? Teja timira sangavat. Like darkness goes only when the light is brought in. Is it not true that darkness, however much you do, take a broom and keep on brooming, can the darkness go away? Gurudev writes in his commentary, however much you try anything to remove darkness, it cannot go. Only when you brought a single light into this very hall of darkness, immediately that darkness goes away. Why? Because darkness is nothing but absence of light. And there is nothing else can replace it. Similarly, ignorance is absence of knowledge. Once you bring in knowledge, ignorance just disappears. Tejas timira sangha. Teja means light. Timira sangha means darkness. So darkness is removed only by the light. So in the same way, knowledge alone can remove ignorance. So these two verses to show that knowledge is the most vital to bring real happiness to ourselves by removing ignorance. Next one he says, Parichinna iva jnanat tannashe sati kevalah Swayam prakashate hyatma mega payem shumaniva. Every verse, as I said, there is an example that is given. The first, second verse we saw, it is like cooking is possible only with the fire. The third verse said, the darkness will go only when the light is brought in. Now one may think that I have the knowledge of so many things. I have studied from the school as well in the university, etc. So many things I have read. But is that not sufficient? Is it not sufficient? It is not sufficient. That's why our Gurudev used to say, I am talking to a group of people who are university educated idiots. Meaning, you have learned everything about everything except yourself. About everything around you have learned, but not you. He says it is like this. sun which is there up in the sky, when on a cloudy day, you cannot see the sun, but only the clouds which are covering it. Right? And somebody comes and says, no sun at all today. You may say, there is no sun at all. So somebody intelligent would ask, how do you know that there is no sun? It's a daytime. How do you know there is no sun? See all clouds. How do you see the clouds? How do you see the clouds? If to see the clouds you need the sun. Without the sun, the clouds cannot be seen. On a dark night, you will not see the clouds because there is no sun to show you that there are clouds. So in the same way, here, just like the clouds are seen only when there is sun, and sun is hidden behind the clouds. That's what we think, hidden behind the clouds. But the reality is, sun cannot be touched by those clouds. Clouds are covering your vision, not the sun. Is it not? Clouds are very close to you. Sun is miles and millions of miles away. Millions of light years away. So clouds, can it cover the sun? In the same way here he says, Parichinna iva. In Sanskrit, iva is a very important point. Iva means as though. Parichinna iva, as though covered, ajnanat, due to ignorance. Tannashe sati kevalaha swayam prakashadehi atma. When ignorance is removed through knowledge, the Atman shines forth itself. The self will be revealing itself. Just like when the clouds are removed, the sun need not be introduced. Because when clouds are gone, the sun will naturally, with its own splendor, is always there. Even when you say that, eclipse time, later on he will talk about that. Eclipse is not happening in the sun. Eclipse is happening in our vision. Can anything go anywhere near the sun? Sun is covered. There's something seriously wrong with you then. Because many people thought that the sun is being covered by the Rahu or Ketu, whatever it is. Bhagavan Shankaracharya clearly says nothing can happen to the sun. So sunlight is covered by the clouds, and since you cannot see the sun directly because of the clouds, you think that the sun is not there. But it is not true. It is, our vision is covered. In the same way, due to our mind's preoccupation with so many things in this world, we cannot discover our own beautiful divine presence. You know, when you fill an application form, your name, last name, first name, whenever they ask me my last name, some of these people have big problem. Ishwarananda. How do you pronounce that, sir? Ishwarananda. How many A's you have? Iswaranand. My hand is, my particular finger is aching, putting A. Last name, first name, Then, when Gurudev used to say, a person, his house got burgled. And the police, they have a peculiar problem. They have to fill that form as it is given. And he used to demonstrate so well. You don't even have a pen, and they have a pencil, and that's what called marker pencil. And then that colorful one, they have to touch the tongue and then write. Name, Ashok Sharma. Sex, you're standing next to him. Male, okay, male. Because they have to write as it is. Address. What are the things you lost? So you list the whole thing. A necklace and this and that and all right. Was your wife at home when the thing happened? Yes or no? Yes. Was the back door open? Yes. Who kept it open? All these things you have to write. So in the same way, when you write in any application form, name, last name, first name, or whatever it is, occupation, you should write preoccupied. Because mind is constantly preoccupied. Many people ask, how you people, Swamis always laugh because mind is not preoccupied. When the mind is preoccupied, you just don't see what is in front of you. And most things in front of you are laughable only. What else you get? How mind is preoccupied all the time. It's not available here, it's somewhere else. As Gurudev would say, either it is in the past regrets or in the future anxieties or present excitements. Mind is occupied. So just like if this room is full, then if somebody comes and, oh my God, it is occupied. Or when you go to a toilet and it is occupied, you cannot get in. That's why it's called restroom. Some people go there and take rest. Occupied. So just like when the mind is occupied, no knowledge can get in. So here he says, just like a person whose mind is preoccupied with so many other things cannot really see what is his own self. Just like the clouds which are covering the vision, one cannot see the sun. It is not that sun is not there, but your vision is covered. In between the sun and your eyes, there is something coming in between. In the same way, between your own self and your mind, there is so many preoccupation of thoughts. Parichinna iva, as though covered. Ajnanat, due to ignorance. Tannashe, on its destruction. Sati, kevalaha, alone. Swayam prakashate, by itself shines. Atma, the self. Mega apaye, on removal of the clouds. Amshuman iva, like the sun. The sun, how it shines on its own, on the removal of the clouds, so is the shining self on the removal of the clouding ignorance. I'll tell you one thing. Ignorance gives you most of your thoughts. Awareness cannot create thoughts. Awareness only can shine the thoughts. It can illumine your thoughts, but cannot create it. It won't create it. All our thoughts, as you know in the chart, Gurudev's chart, OET is the bottom. Objects, emotion, thoughts. PFT, perceiver, feeler, thinker, who experiences this. Through what? BMI, through the equipments called body, mind, intellect. But all these things are due to we. Vasanas, expression of ignorance. Ignorance makes you associate with body, mind, intellect and experience yourself as a perceiver, feeler and thinker. You are far away from Om. You are unaware of the Om. Because you are perceiving the objects, feeling the emotions and thinking about thoughts. Where are you? So the Om shines forth itself when the V is removed. V, vasanas. But we are playing V. So preoccupied. You know what is V? V. those who are small children will laugh at it because that's don't know now. Your children are gone. So we is the one which comes in between. Vasanas, preoccupied with that. So vasanas create the entire world of experience, perceiver, feeler and thinker. Om is by itself. And when the vasana removed, that's why Bhagavan Shankaracharya says in Vivek Chudamani, vasana kshayat vai moksha. On elimination of vasana alone, there is freedom. And vasana cannot be eliminated so easily. Because as Sri Krishna would say in Bhagavad Gita, you can run away from objects, but you cannot run away from the impressions of the objects. You can say, I am not going to associate with this person because he did this or she did this. But your impressions that are created by your experience, they remain. Rasavarjam rasopyasya param drushtva nivartate. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinaha. You can run away from the objects. Thereby you will not experience them anymore. But impressions, they are still sitting there. And with that, from that you cannot run away. And that vasana expression of avidya can go only when param drushtva. Only when you see the reality, it will go away. So in the same way here, clouds can cover your vision until you see the sun. When on the removal of clouds, when you see the sun, you realize sun was never covered. And that is what is called discovery. Discovery is not an invention. When Newton sat under the tree and the apple fell on his nose, he asked the question, why should it fall down? His friend said, it has been falling down a long time. I want to know why that apple has to fall down and not go up. So he went on working on that. Finally, what did he do? He discovered the law, which is already there. He did not invent it. In the same way, we come to discover. What is the very idea, meaning of discover? Discover. What is covering? You discover it. Remove that covering. So he discovered the law which was already there. Similarly, you discover the self which is already present. You discover the sun which is already there. So now in the next verse, therefore, he says, Ajnana kalusham jivam jnanabhyasat vinirmalam Kritva jnanam swayam nashyet jalam katakarenuvat. You know, in our life, when we do not know, as I said, a language, by learning that language, you come to have the knowledge of that language. And then you can communicate, you can read and all those things you can do. I don't know a particular skill, carpentry for example. I go there and learn professionally how to increase that skill. And then I become an expert in that. So any language, a skill, all those things I learn and then I discover that. But then it is seen that we may also forget a language if we don't use it for a long time. Don't we? Whatever language we have, when you start living in a different place where nobody talks that language, even you lose your vocabulary. That's why many parents would say, Swamiji, my child till the age of 5 was so good in our mother tongue. Afterwards, when he went to school, he totally lost it. He can't even speak now. Even when we speak in our mother tongue, he speaks only in English. Why it is so? You lose vocabulary when you don't use it. And any other skill also, when we learn in the beginning, we are able to very well use them. And when we stop using them, you start losing them also. How many of you now can go and ride a bike? Your muscles are not now flexible enough to even sit on a balance. Now once you have started using the four-wheeler, etc., then you lose the balance. Because the skill, and after some time you may probably get it back. In the same way, language, a skill, and all other things, unless you continuously use them, you will lose them. It is said that even a physical part of the body also, when you don't use them, you lose them. For example, brain. So one man said, hey, to his son, use your brain. Idiot, use your brain. So the boy said, Daddy, I'm only 15. If I start using them now, by the time your age, I'll be like you. So therefore, I won't use it carefully. Now here, what Shankaracharya says, there is a difference between the knowledge of anything else and knowledge of the self. In any other thing, knowledge, if you don't use it, you lose it. That's what we see. Like it is said that nowadays the children are not born with this wisdom teeth at all. Even if they are there in the beginning stage itself, they remove it. They don't need wisdom nowadays. So that's what I was told. No, not that. So these back, this set of teeth, they are required for biting something very hard. Nowadays we don't do that. In the Homo sapiens, when during those times, they had to bite everything. Nowadays we don't use that. So when you don't use a particular portion of your body, that slowly, as the few generations later, it won't be there. Just like we lost the tail. We never used it. Anyway, so therefore, knowledge of anything, when you continuously use, then alone it becomes useful. So in Vedanta or spiritual knowledge is also that which you practice, but it is something very strange. Once you start using the spiritual knowledge, you do not become dependent on that knowledge. As he says, Jivam, human life, Ajnana Kalusham, is full of ignorance. Jnana Abhyasat, by practice of knowledge, Vinirmalam Bhavati, it becomes pure. The human life is full of the dirt of ignorance. Through practice of knowledge, it becomes clean, pure. Jnana Abhyasat Vinirmalam. Krutva, having done that, Jnanam Swayam Nashyet. This knowledge destroys itself and it will not remain anymore. It's a peculiar thing. Because the very word Abhyas, you should understand. Abhyas means practice. What is the difference between practice and a habit? Don't say habitual practice. What is the difference between habit and a practice? Tell me. So you say, I have a habit of drinking coffee. I have a habit of singing in bathroom or restroom. I have a habit of, what you said? Tell me some habit. Nothing. Sleeping in the workplace. Okay, maybe. Well, the moment I enter the office, I have the habit of sleeping. Whatever. So one man was sleeping in the office. So his boss came, what are you doing? Oh, I am just practicing what is taught to me in the stress management seminar which I yesterday attended. Stress management? They ask you to sleep? No, no, no. You misunderstand, sir. They said you should often, practice this method. It's called stress level elimination examination process. That's what I'm doing there. Sleep. Stress level elimination in examination process. So it is sleep. Maybe somebody has a habit of sleeping, intermittently, or drinking coffee. Nowadays, as soon as you get into the office, there's one whole, unit is there. Go on. Every often you have to go and fill it up. So we may have all these habits. What is then the difference between habit and a practice? Practice is a conscious action. Habit is an unconscious preoccupation. First important thing. Never make a meditation a habit. It should be a conscious practice. Number one. Habit does not make you progress at all. It keeps you where you are and bring you down. Whereas practice is meant to make you better than what you did yesterday. That's why they say, I have been practicing dancing, or I have been practicing singing. You don't say, I'm doing a habit of singing. Practice means you are improving. That's why here in this country, they practice medicine on you. You know that? They practice law on you. Who is a lawyer? They wear a white coat, white shirt, and then put a black coat on the top of it. You know what it means? White means truth, and black means lie. So I know the truth, but I won't tell you. A little bit will be seen, but mostly it is covered with the black coat. That's why they are called liars. Sorry, liars. Anyway, so you see, so practice is that which makes you move from where you are to a different level. Whereas habit keeps you there and brings you down. Most of us are victims of habits. Our own habits preoccupying ourselves, making you unconsciously do things. So, jnana abhyasa means conscious practice of knowledge. What it does, ajnana kalusham jivam, the human being in general are polluted by ignorance. Jnana abhyasat vinirmalam kritva, having been released from these impurities through practice of knowledge, what does this knowledge do? Swayam nashyet. It destroys itself. It doesn't remain. Example, jalam katakarenuvat. Earlier times when that water is impure or dirty, they put a kataka nut, crushed kataka nut. What it does is it creates a film and goes down. And taking all the dirt with itself, it goes down completely and then goes to the bottom of the water. So that the top of the water is pure, filtered. So what it does is to remove all the impurities and goes down, completely disappears. In the same way, knowledge is that which removes the ignorance, all right, but does not remain anymore as a part of you. It clears you, frees you, and it disappears also. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi used to say, just like in a funeral pyre, while that whole thing is burning, that fellow who is putting the fire will have a long stick with which he will keep on kindling that fire. But at the end of the whole, full glow of that fire, even that stick that is being used to kindle the fire is put into that. That also burns. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi would say, Yena tyajasi tat tyaja. By which you renounce everything, that also to be renounced. Yena tyajasi. By which you renounce everything, tat tyaja. That also you renounce. So, just like a person taking a japamala to keep his mind occupied with the name of the Lord, the japamala should not be held on for a long time. Once your mind is fully involved in the thought of the Lord, naturally you should leave that japa also. Otherwise, that will become a preoccupation of your mind. How many I have done? How many I have done? How many I have done? Did I finish 108 or not? Gurudev used to say, japa is not to polish the beads, but it is to polish your mind. That is not the intention. It is to keep your mind in one place. So don't worry about this. So therefore, it is said that jnanam is that practice of which destroys ignorance, but it also disappears. And you don't say that, oh Swamiji, if I forget that knowledge, what will happen? I will go back to ignorance. No. Unlike the other knowledge where we see, when you stop doing it and then you stop forgetting it, start forgetting. In that way it doesn't happen. Don't worry about it. So knowledge should not become a burden. That's what it means. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkhabhat bhavet. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.